Okay, so here's a male that we specifically got from Aussiebots. This is a orange dream, Enchi, leopard, yellow belly, hat for clown.
Hi guys, it's Rob from Royal Balls. Today we're going to talk about quality. I really enjoyed the comments in the community section before this video came out. I really enjoyed shooting this video and I hope you guys enjoy watching it. This video is done in collaboration with ARP and I think it's going to be a visual feast for you guys, and I thank Arawin very much for allowing me to film some of his collection and for contributing in a big way towards this video. So, what do we mean by quality? It's a word that we use quite often. You will hear many breeders say quality in, quality out. But what do we actually mean by quality? Quality can mean different things to different people. You might be improving a line of snakes, you might be pairing a genetic combination that you've never made before to produce a new morph, which is visually spectacular. But for me, quality means having a vision of what you want to produce and producing a snake that looks like your vision. Quality is not random, it doesn't happen by accident. Quality is not pairing a multi-gene snake to a multi-gene snake, seeing what pops out and hoping that something in there looks pretty good. That's not what we're going to talk about today. We're going to look at a number of examples of quality. The first example is an in-house example where we have a quality pastel Enchi clown who has bred for me before. She has a lineage and a history, and I know the parents of this snake. She's been with me for several seasons now, and last season produced for me those stunning Firefly Enchi clowns. Fairly simple combination. Firefly Enchi is just 3 genes in clowns, and knowing what those offspring looked like, my vision is to make those cleaner, higher contrast and more colourful. We use that as an example of how I selected the pairing for that female snake this year in order to achieve that goal. It isn't simply pairing back her offspring to her, that's not what we're doing. We're actually taking another male snake that has characteristics that in my vision I want in her offspring. So this girl here is my pastel Enchi clown female. I'll put a picture up of what she looked like when she was a hatchling, and you can see that yes, she has developed a little bit of the pastel muddiness that comes with age, but she has retained a very strong yellow colour. And just look at that awesome head stamp. That hasn't changed since day one. Her head is still really bright. You'll also notice that the dorsal striping has maintained its contrast. It has a nice black edging to it, which again is not common in pastel Enchi. It tends to get blushed out a little bit. And this girl is the mother of my Firefly Enchi clowns. Let me just show you those next to her. And wow, what a difference the addition of fire makes to the pastel Enchi. So this is son with mum. You will notice the difference in the head stamp. This guy here has fire, so he's got ears here just behind the head. Fire tends to put ears onto the head stamp, which mum does not have. So here's one of her sons. Here is the other. So you can see the quality that mum has thrown into her offspring, and you can also see the effect that adding fire into this genetic combination makes to the clean, bright appearance of the snake. Her two sons here are about 500-600 grams. They are 7 months old now, so they are already sub-adult. They weren't ready in time to pair back to mum, but I didn't want to do that pairing anyway. We won't pair the sons back to the mother when I have alternatives that I can use to perhaps produce even better combos. So let me show you the male snake that was used to produce these two Firefly Enchi offspring. So Dad is a fire clown, and you can see that the pattern is slightly busier than mum. The head stamp on father is a fire clown head stamp. Again, you can see the ears. The head stamp here is wide at the back. That is typical of fire. And comparing the two snakes together, you can see that father is high contrast and quite bright, considering that there's no pastel in father, whereas mum has a more reduced pattern and a very strong yellow colour due to the pastel in her. So the combination of these two snakes last season made this guy. Okay, so we're looking to make this even better this season. This is a Firefly Enchi het for clown, and I'll put a picture of him up when he was a hatchling so that you can see what he looked like. But from the moment that he hatched out, we knew this snake was something special. So let's take a look at the Firefly Enchi that I produced from that female last season, and you can see that the het version is extremely bright compared to the fire that I used to produce this snake here. So here is Dad from last season. This is the fire clown compared to the Firefly Enchi het for clown underneath, and you can see that this guy is extraordinarily bright. So knowing what this guy was able to produce using that female, imagine what this guy is going to be able to produce with her. Now he is a het, which means that probably only around half the clutch will be visual clowns, but we have a double dose of pastel, we have a double dose of Enchi, and we have fire in the mix, both of which are extraordinarily bright representatives of their type. So for this season, this is the female and this is the male, and I think you can see that by careful selection of the snakes, the genes plus the fact that these are extraordinarily bright versions of their phenotypes, the outcome of this pairing is inevitably going to be awesome. Both of these snakes have a lineage, they have a history. I have photos of both of these snakes when they were hatchlings, and I watched them grow up. The female's been with me for a few seasons now. Obviously this male, when he hatched out, neither love nor money would prize him out of the hands of ARP. I think when Arawin saw the quality of the Firefly Enchi clowns that this female made, I think that pairing was inevitable. And so here he is. He's being paired to this female this year, and I can't wait to see what the offspring look like. Even the hets are going to be awesome, given what Dad looks like. And we know the lineage and history of both of these snakes. Now this is the reason why you buy your snakes from a trusted dealer if you can. You're buying not just the snake, you're buying the ingredients, you're buying the lineage, and you're buying the history. I know exactly what these snakes look like when they were young. I know exactly what this female is capable of producing, and I've watched this male grow up, and anticipated this pairing for 2 years, and finally we're doing it. The outcome of this is going to be awesome. So this pastel Enchi Clown female, let me just put up a picture of her again when she was a hatchling. Her brother alongside her is a very reduced Enchi Clown, very reduced and clean, and he is the father of this guy. So those traits in that reduced pattern Enchi Clown are indeed reproducible. I did not use this male to pair to this female this year because I had a better choice, but this is the difference between the reduced pattern Enchi Clown and the non-reduced pattern Enchi Clown. So at some stage we can introduce back this quality of reduced Enchi Clown into this lineage of pastel Enchi and firefly Enchi Clowns and reduce the pattern a little bit further, maybe tighten up and increase the contrast by using something from this lineage as well. Again, a perfect example of having a plan based upon knowing the history of the snakes that are involved and having a desired outcome, knowing exactly what you want the offspring to look like. So yes, we do have a reduced Enchi Clown, and at some stage we will be introducing that into this lineage to see where we go from there. So we're also going to look at an example where a line of a gene or a morph has been improved through time. This is not a quick process. This is a process that takes many years, and we're going to look at an example of a very simple morph that has evolved over 15 or more years with constant hard work to improve that line. We're also going to look at another example of what quality might mean, and that is to import a snake to bring into your collection, a very specific snake from a very specific breeder that has very specific qualities that you want to put into your collection, again to produce a snake that approaches your vision of what you want to create.
Welcome back to ARP Constrictors, guys. So today we'll look at some nice snakes and explain to you about the lineage and how we came up with the latest hatchlings and how we build it up to that. So let's go have a look at it. So here's an example of this is actually a leopard calico. As you can see, the leopard usually kills the whites in calicos, but this is very close to how my original calico male looked like. It has similar patterns like this and had like a few specks of white dots like that. Believe it, that's how it started. Very minimal, but it came from a good bloodline. Back then it was FNF calicos, they were called. But we have worked away from the line for so long and kind of improved on the quality as we went by. But to give you pretty much an idea of it, this is how the original calico that I imported looked like. Okay, so we'll move on to some combos that we've made over the years. I don't have the original male, so that's why I had to show you this. But visually it's pretty similar to this girl here. But this of course is a leopard calico. So you see, this is the pastel calico we made from the original calico male. So I used it with the nicest pastel I had to try make something a bit nicer out of that very low white calico. So as you can see, this is not bad. This is a standard pastel calico, nothing special about it. It's a nice snake, but nowhere close to what we wanted. So then the next season we continue to improve the line. It's pretty much selective breeding nicer animals to produce even better animals. So this was step 2. And this was by second season we made this girl. This is a plain calico, a single gene, but it looked nowhere close to the original one because the white started kicking in, and it was quite a big progress for us to get here from that 1 or 2 specks of white that initially it had. So this was another step forward. We moved on from this was produced by the pastel calico male, because that pastel calico just now you saw, believe it or not, was the best one that I made at that season. So I did not use the father of the pastel calico anymore, the original calico, and the pastel calico was the best in the clutch, so I chose him. I bred him out and we made one calico girl from there, which this was the best one out of the clutch. So we sold the ones that were second or third quality and we kept the best one to further improve it. So when this girl was hatched, she also had a sibling. I'll show her a sibling now. So this was a clutch mate of that calico female I showed before this. So same father, the pastel calico, which was a better male compared to the grandfather. And this we made a bit progress, but not that great compared to the stuff that we've made now. So I'll show you a few more. There was roughly one season after this. So as you guys can see, this was the third season product. So you can see how from that first calico to the second pastel calico and the calico that he made and the spider calico is nowhere as nice as this. This is also a spider calico. But as you can see, he is way better than the female I showed before this. Oh, he's pissed. So this is how we improved initially, slowly, step by step. So I paired this male back to another calico female actually, because I wanted to get more calicos and more. I was kind of experimenting on it, whether it'll improve if I breed them to each other. And then I'll show you the female that I bred him to. Okay, so these are both calicos made from the calico female and the calider female that I showed earlier. So I actually paired this calico to calico for a season to just experiment on what's going on and things. As this is a lesser, the white is a lot less obvious with lesser calicos, but you can see that she was the best example of that season. So I kept both of them. They were the best of that third season of breeding calicos. Kept both of them, and then we made something crazy from this. That's when it actually really kicked off, the whole calico stuff. So it was like about 5 years work before it even really made something amazing for us to work with. So then we made this guy. I did make a bit better combos morphs from the same clutch. I think I made one queen bee calico, but this particular one was very pretty. It was mind blowing. The white just went all the way up there, and as they hatch they don't actually look this nice, but you could see the potential in them. So we retired every single male that we bred before him, and he became the main male on our calico project from that time. And this is pretty much where I think we picked out in the bumblebee calico stuff. We did try to improve it, make it cleaner. So I tried to make the dots disappear, and I'll show you his daughter that we hatched last season, which was 2019 season, because 2020 we did not breed. Okay, so I'll show you the daughter, his daughter now. Okay, so this is the daughter of the male I showed before this, the nice male. So you see, as we try to clean up, she's in shed. She's going into shed actually. So as we try to clean up that whole specks of dirt at the side, we also lost a bit of contrast on the blacks. But she's a very good looking snake, but then we lost the black contrast there, so that's why we tried to clean it out a bit too much. And trust me, this whole thing is the same morph. This is the same morph as the father, and the two caliders I showed before this was both just caliders also. It's just a different quality of calicos in them. So nowadays we just use these few breeders that we have to just keep on the line going and improve on them. So as you also can see, this is a spider, but her head is pretty straight. She doesn't have much of a wobble, and also I've sold a few. The one that Rob has also doesn't wobble that much. I wouldn't claim that I've got rid of the wobble completely, but as far as we have seen, they don't have any crazy wobbles or corkscrew stuff going on with them. So I'm quite happy with that. We also tried to approach from that front, where we didn't want to breed spiders with very heavy wobble. She's pretty, she's really pretty. I hatched two of these. I sold the male, I kept the female. That's a fantastic example, but this did not happen over like one season. This was progress of years and years of work, and eventually we got here.
And what's the future?
I'm trying to get OD into this because I think this girl will look nice with OD in there, because we might bring back the dark contrast and also still keep it clean at the same time. That's one thing that I want to work with. I want to put OD into this girl. She's ready to breed. She's about breeding size now. We'll breed her next coming season, and we'll pair her up with OD. So we'll try to bring back the black and still keep it clean at the same time. Well, it's all it's educated guess on how they will look like. We'll only know when they hatch exactly how they will look like. Works sometimes it doesn't work. But as you can see, her head is pretty straight. The camera is tilted, but still you can see her head is very straight. She has very, I've never seen her wobble actually. If she does, then she has very minimal wobble. The one that Rob has also, I believe he's never seen it wobble. Yeah. I also have a few customer snakes with me, which also I've never seen it wobble. Maybe they do when we don't notice at night or what, I don't know. But it's nowhere severe or...
Usually when you feed them is when they tend to go a bit nutty.
Yeah.
And mine doesn't. Mine strikes perfectly.
So I wouldn't claim that we've got rid of it completely, but I would definitely say we have improved it a lot compared to the other spider stuff.
And that's been a deliberate effort as well.
Yes.
So as well as making the really nice looking snakes,
we also wanted to avoid the very heavy wobble problems in snakes. Because with this snake, I don't see a problem with the spider in this snake at all. Zero. I don't see it wobbling a lot or suffering or what. Some of other spider combos that even we hatched still do wobble. Not all of them are like this, but this one, I believe we've done well with this stuff. Even my other combos, we try not to ever breed snakes with heavy wobble, so we try to minimize it. It does work.
That's an important point though. It's not just spiders that exhibit a head wobble. There are actually several different morphs that can.
Suddenly everybody is against spider because of wobble and everything, but so does spot nose, so does champagne, so does sable. There's a lot of morphs that actually wobble. It's just that spiders are a lot more common and people are more aware of it. I put it back. She's very sweet.
The superform of spider is lethal, but spot nose, sable, the superform is not lethal.
But the wobble is quite...
tend to exacerbate the wobble.
But the wobble on the super sables are quite strong also. Yeah. So as you guys can see, we usually work with what we have. We try to improve the quality over the years. We try to improve the health and the condition, and also everything that we can improve, we do improve every year. But then again, ball pythons, the number one thing about ball python is the variation, the new morphs that keep coming out and everything. So we were working with what we have. Every few years we do have a small import. So we do add in some animals into our collection. But these animals will be very specific animals from very specific breeders and very specific qualities that we want. I don't mind waiting a year to just get something that I want, but I want it to be exactly something that I could work with that gives me a bit of a edge onto improving them. If it's something that I have to work a lot, it's just going to take me a long month. I cannot be doing each project with 10 years. You know, it's one pet project is fine, but sometimes I want to at least start off with halfway there. So that's why I would like to look for animals from specific breeders with exact quality that I want and the exact combination I want. I don't mind waiting a bit. I don't mind even waiting a year or even two to get something I want exactly. But that's what we do. So now we'll have a look at a few snakes that we got in our last import a year plus ago. I think around
18 months.
Yeah, around 18 months.
Year and a half ago.
Yeah, a year and a half ago. So we will look at some of the snakes, but here's the thing, they have actually already bred for us, and we can actually show you the outcome and why we look for these snakes from these breeders, and we don't mind paying that extra to just get a better quality animal and a better example of the morph. So we'll have a look at a few, and I'll also show one or two of the babies, not too long, too much into it, just a couple of adults and a few clutches they've made, so you guys can have a look at what we're talking about. Okay, so here's a male that we specifically got from Aussie Boys. This is a Orange Dream, Enchi, Leopard, Yellow Belly, Hat for Clown. So we wanted to get some nice ODs into our clowns. So I wanted one from Aussie specifically, and a nice one. So thanks to Justin for helping me to pick this up from Aussie and ship it out all the way to Malaysia. So now I'll show you guys some babies that we made from him and why we chose to import him. So this, as some of you know, this Iron Man, and this is another Iron Man female, and this is the one without enchi but with fire in it. This is exactly the reason why we imported the male in, because I had a vision of making this stuff. I wanted the whole enchi, OD, yellow belly with clown in it, and the leopard also. So this is exactly why we imported the male in, and I would say that we are very very happy with the result. We are super happy actually. These snakes are amazing, and this is why we have to choose what we want to do with the quality that we want to get, with the things that we want to work with. So this is a perfect example of having a vision of what we want to make and actually making it. So it's good that we actually made this video at this time where the babies are already hatching, and we can show you the results and the products that we made from what we imported last year. And
this is only the half of it though, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, this is halfway. We are still gonna work a lot more with these snakes. As you can see, there's a lot of depth, there's a lot of things that can be done with them, and we are very excited to work all of these holdbacks. It's a male and 2 females. I released about a couple of snakes from this clutch. This is 2 clutches actually. It's 1 and 2nd clutch. So I released 2 snakes. Rob has 1, and another one was sold to another customer. But these 3 I'm keeping, and I'm very excited for them to grow big. They're actually coloring up nicer and nicer as they grow. You'll see that this girl is very very nice, very pretty, very clean and crisp. See that whole reddish dorsal going on there. Maybe red stripe will work very well with her.
Now you also have a bunch of non-clown OD combos.
We'll show that one.
We're going to show that in subsequent video.
Yeah, we will do a whole entire video talking about ODs and the variation in ODs and things like that. We'll get to the whole video next. So today we just want to show about how we select our breeders, why we select our breeders, and how do we use them. Okay, so this is another male we got from Justin. This leopard lavender blackhead spider. I wanted the blackhead and the leopard into the lavenders. I've been waiting to get those in. So we got a visual male from him. So as you can see, you can't see much of that whole spider thing going on, or the blackhead thing, because blackhead and spider are linked, and they basically wash each other off. But as a breeder, he's a very useful male. I'll show you a couple of babies that I made. I also show you guys 2 things. One, the product that we wanted to make directly from him, and also a hat that we made for future projects. So this is why we bought that male in. This is a leopard blackhead lavender. Very beautiful snake. I would say my favorite lavender albino combo. So this is why we got the male in, because we wanted to make this stuff.
So you already had lavender, you just didn't have blackhead?
Yes. Really really beautiful color. Look at that rich orange color in it. Can't really see it that much on camera, but it's a very pretty snake. So this is why we got that male in, and also we made a hat from him. So this is the hat. Oh, this shows quite nice in camera. So you can see this guy is, I really like this male. This is a leopard blackhead enchi hat for lavender. It's a 100% hat. The one I showed you before this was the father. So we made him for our future project. So like the male we got some babies that are directly straight products that we want to produce this year, and then we made a hat for our future projects. We always want to have new things going on, and I feel like this male would make amazing babies 2 years down the road. Because look at the enchi and the blackhead, the whole leopard thing going on there. This is our holdback. So that's how we bring in new snakes, we choose new snakes, then we further progress from there. And as we always we say, quality is very important, but sometimes you also need to know how to see the quality, not just buy everything that's labeled as high quality. So you need to have a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of research, and a good relationship with your breeder. So that's very important. In the long run, it always pays off. So there you have it. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to click like and subscribe, and also follow ARP Constrictors in our channel. See you again.
So there you go guys. That was for me a real treat to produce the video. Quality means different things to different people, and I do encourage new breeders to have a go. It's not my intention to judge or to say you should and shouldn't do this pairing or that pairing. This video is an illustration about how we view quality and how you can work towards quality regardless of what level that you're at. I look forward to your comments and feedback, and the end of the video there showed some of the Orange Dream stuff that ARP has been producing this season, and it's a great lead into a video that I'm going to be producing again with Arawin in collaboration with ARP Constrictors, where we take a look at snakes that he's imported and we look at some Orange Dream madness. We've been working with Orange Dream for the last couple of seasons, but ARP has had an astounding number of clutches with some very specific gene combinations that resulted from a vision that Arawin had when he imported that snake. So we're going to walk through some of the OD combos with you. We're going to look at genetic combinations that work, genetic combinations that enhance OD, and we're also going to look at some of the identification of OD in combo isn't actually as straightforward as you might think. So that'll be the subject of the next video. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.